Bonjour and welcome back to the French campaign in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. So we've taken Formosa from the Chinese. Now I am toying with the idea of naval invading Korea. Or maybe just let it be and get a peace treaty from the Chinese. See what I can get from them that way. Because I got 120,000 victory points. That's a pretty nice lead. And it would be nice to have a few years of peace. To like build the economy and stuff. But first, they do have some battleships left that I want to sink. And they are heading right there. Let's see. There we go. Yes, it was a little bit hard to see the green line there. And these remain in port. Fine. So we're going to use the 3 torpedo boats to sink the battleship and my cruisers to sink the other 2 ships. That's the plan. Right. And that seems like it worked. Maybe. China and Greece. And China and Belgium. They're fighting everyone. Right. Level CA. You can handle these. We've seen that before. I'll split these up. Fleuret will handle the torpedo boats. Lavoisier, the light cruiser. That's the plan, anyway. Let's drop you down to some kind of cruising speed. You're just going to be firing as you close in. There we go. A bit of flooding. That should slow them down. And Fleuret has found her target. And that one torpedo boat. Which has only 1 torpedo. Not even any reloads. That is a 15-inch. See, you were trying to come within torpedo range, were you? I think this is a fine range to fight. And the Chinese torpedo boat is going down. Yep. And I think this light cruiser is going down very soon as well. Lavoisier is just casually putting holes into her. There. Right then, so that meeting. Exactly what I asked for. Great. Let's not have any accidents with the reverse button this time. And I think my 3 torpedo boats should be capable of sinking that battleship. Which is going this way, and it's low on fuel. I'm just gonna turn my my torpedo boats around. Go around this way. Have my cruisers engage their cruisers first. They're all on low fuel. That makes things easier for the torpedo boats. What kind of armor did you have? Not that much. Almost. Almost hit that button, but I didn't. Got some engines out on T9. Need to give these torpedo boats a refit, because I got better torpedoes now available. Where is that? On my one torpedo boat. There we go, torpedoes launching. And that is one battleship about to go down. maybe more like this. You can't really see the torpedo boats. There's too much smoke and fire and stuff going on. But we sank the battleship. Now, Furieux, if you will, close with and sink that armored cruiser. It doesn't do too much damage to my torpedo boats. Ooh, that's some big hits on T10. Don't worry, little friend. Big bro is coming to save you. Maybe too late. I think we're good. Meanwhile, Bruy is handling these light cruisers. Oh no, we were too late. Save the torpedo boat. At least that hurt. Wasn't good hits. Now we're getting good hits on the light cruisers as well. If not the torpedo boats, then maybe maybe something like this. And Hunan is also going down. Flooding all over. There we go. Dinghu. Last ship remaining. Good HE pen. she's also flooding. %, 0.4, and going down. Nice, another 9,000 victory points. Lost one torpedo boat, but that's fine. I think it's almost time to design a new torpedo boat also, because I got a new hull that can go up to 27 knots. And I got better torpedoes as well. Right. 6 transports lost in total. No more Chinese ships in this area, so we're just gonna send these back to Le Havre, where this torpedo boat already is. Let's send you to Djibouti. And you can just stay there, I guess. It doesn't hurt having a squadron of torpedo boats and a light cruiser sitting here, guarding this, the Red Sea. We're gonna take Eastern China. That would be really nice if we could do that. Like, what are the tonnage requirements to take Korea? Is that something I should even bother trying? Northwest, southwest, northeast, like 40,000 tons. Yeah, no, we can actually very easily take that. It's northeast China and eastern China that I don't have the tonnage for. But the army is already taking eastern China. You know what? I'm gonna try it. 46,000 tons. Southwest Korea. Yeah. And we're gonna have more tonnage as soon as these finish repairing, which is next month, because they're just barely scratched. 2% damage. And then this is, like, the amount of damage is a rounding error. So it's literally just scratched paint. That's it. But if we need more tonnage, and there's always this task force. Yeah, we're gonna take Korea. And maybe fight some battleships along the way. Sorry, China, but I think you're no longer gonna exist. Now, in the meantime, I have a lot of shipbuilding capacity sitting here. Now, I already, a little bit off camera, messed with improving the TB-90 torpedo boat. I can't actually refit any of them right now because they're all at sea or repairing, but Yeah, gave them twin torpedo tubes, slightly better engines, and I think bigger torpedoes too, right? 16-inch, yeah, up from 15. Which, also with better torpedo propulsion, I think I got like 1500-meter torpedo range. Anyway, we have some light cruisers that need refit. First of all, I've got induced spoilers, upping the range quite a bit. Do I have no better engines yet? Got better armor. That's quite an armor increase, actually, without actually gaining any weight. And we have coincidence rangefinder. 16-inch torps. Can we because this class doesn't have any side tubes. We can add that. And we now have 1.3 kilometer range. That means we can outrange the torps on anything with 900-meter torpedo range. But maybe the most important upgrade will be Mark II 7-inch guns. They're much smaller, as you can see, but quite a bit better. Yeah, it looks much better this way. Those Mark I turrets were way oversized for the hull. And Mark II 3-inch guns as well. Also now quite a bit better. Like, do they still fit though? Seems like it. Not up here. This would obscure the gun arc of that turret. So that's not happening. What is our flash fire chance? 25%. 20%. Anti-flood? 12 tons over? Not too bad. I think we can remedy that. Also, we're gonna go standard ratio on the main gun ammo. So we don't run out of HE shells as easily. As for weight savings, slightly less main deck armor, probably. There we go. Right on the money. Perfect. And also this one, the other 7-inch armed armored cruiser. You're also getting the improved armor and the improved boilers. Wait. That saved quite a bit of weight, actually. And it added some range. So, perfect. Going for that citadel might have been too much. Oh yeah, well, that's right. It didn't fit there on the bow. Nice. Nice. How much overweight did that citadel get us? 37 tons. Ah, let's just leave it at that. I'm gonna up the turret armor a little bit, and I want to see about upping the caliber of these 3-inch secondaries. Maybe the length too, just a little bit. Now these things can start to hurt things. And that's pretty neat. That's the forfeit. Again, with better torpedoes. Now, the Pascals. They already have Mark II guns. But we can still give them induced boilers, upping that range by quite a little bit. And now, these torps, which we've gotten a lot of use out of, they're going to be a little bit more useful now. I wish there was like another place to put a centerline 3-inch gun here. Maybe there is. Like so? Yeah. Almost at the weight limit. Not that much more I can do. Can't really up the barbette protection. I can almost give it anti-flood 1. Ooh, reinforced bulkheads would also have been very nice. Now I can't take that off. Great. So we're a few tons overweight. Can remedy that by decreasing the armor just a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that's just how it's got to be. Good enough. Slightly thinner armor is fine when you also get better quality armor and an additional secondary gun. That is also now quite a bit better because it's a Mark II. So, let's apply some of these refits. UAD, Buffet, and Pascal. Yeah, we're staying under limit. Good. Very nice. No alliances. Almost no transport losses. We didn't get Northeast Korea because the Soviets took that one. Gonna take Southwest Korea though. Or Southeast, 42,000. There. So this is gonna need the biggest task force. So we're sending out the oh, one of these is in battle. It's in a convoy battle. Adding some more tonnage here. Another one of these battleships. Lavoisier has not gotten that refit. She was getting repaired, I think, last month. Now, Potau should be able to handle at least most of this. Maybe not that battleship, though. Last episode, I was hoping my armored cruisers would get dragged into a convoy battle, so they could deal with the Chinese armored cruisers that my light cruisers were struggling with. Now my armored cruiser is in a battle, a convoy battle, but the Chinese brought a battleship. $14.6. Now, that was at plus 0. We can, at very close range, we can go through that belt. It'll have to be almost point blank, but it is possible. Sadly, these do not have the improved torpedoes. That would have been something. That would be great for Lavoisier as well. One inch. It's very light. At least I know where that torpedo boat is. Actually, secondaries too on the light cruiser. There we go. Well, you can definitely go through my cruiser armor. That is one destroyed Chinese light cruiser. Send this one around. Go for the transports. Tower out on Zhangqi. I can just do something about your fore and aft belts. That would be great. Flooding, there we go. I did something about your fore belts. What's your turret armor? 15. Secondary tower gone as well. These transports are armed. Just finish off the torpedo boat. Gone. Let's get back to bothering that battleship. Which has realized that its transports are under attack. There we go. They've lost sight of level CA. What's your main gun range? 9 kilometers? 9.8. I can actually outrange you. Fix that flooding that they had. Like to get some like permanent flooding on the extended sections there. Because otherwise I cannot actually outrun this battleship. It's half a knot faster than my armored cruiser. There we go. There we go. That's permanent flooding too. Maybe I don't want to run. Maybe I want to stay and fight. Which may be a bad idea. We'll see if they score some big hits on me. I'd say my Mark II 9-inch guns are probably superior to their Mark 111s using brown and black powder. They are actually, in terms of pen. Let's see, damage AP 312. They do a little bit more damage, but mine are more accurate, have more pen, fire faster. They do have the armor advantage though. I have a hard time penetrating their belt, but they could easily go through mine if they hit. $30 million. How about you? 33. Okay, so it's kind of even. Also, they have a cadet crew and are suffering from minus 45 from damage instability. If my light cruiser had had its refit with the better torpedoes and the Mark II guns, I'd keep it around. I'd try to torpedo it, actually. There we go, some aft flooding as well, and a flash fire. 2 flash fires. Excellent. That was all the flash fires. Nice. Yeah, that went better than expected, actually. Let's see. Now Montcalm and Lavoisier can also get their refits. And Fleuret also. So, another month of repair for Poteau. But she earned some rest. She just sunk a battleship. That's pretty good. And we are pushing into eastern China. So it's a good thing that we're starting those naval invasions in Korea to keep the war going a little bit more. Because grabbing this would be very, very good. And it looks like the Germans are going to grab that. So we're not going to be the only ones scooping up the remains of China. The Soviets are definitely in on that game. Right, no alliances. No transport losses. Let's see, I saw someone build one of my designs. McKenna SD class battleship. And these HBIW, they are also shared design ships. 1898. So they are they're building 1898 designs in 1896. Britain as well. I think that's a 1900 design, actually. Hoodlum. The default name for that design was Hood, but it was definitely not the HMS Hood hull, so I just called it something else. But I wonder if that's one of those like experimental battleships that is halfway to a to being a dreadnought. I think that's what it was. There you go, Colbert. You can get your refits. These TB90s, they can get theirs as well. And we are at 200% transport capacity, so we're just going to bump this slider way down to barely positive. Well, let's just actually keep it at like 0.5% in case we are to lose some. Mark 115s, the Japanese already have those. And I assume Britain and the US are also way ahead there. 100%. Southwest Korea is next. Not looking too hot for China. Lavoisier getting her refit. Patau. I guess you can go deal with these. Um, those ships are getting reinforced. Actually, I don't have any like torpedo boats sitting ready here. How about getting a battleship down there? Justice. And the Gras. They are not finished yet refitting. The tile is ready. Do I have anything here? Yes. One battleship, one armored cruiser, and 2 lights are gonna be fighting one battleship, one armored cruiser, 2 lights, and 1 torpedo boat. I think that's a pretty nice matchup. So as we saw with some of those share designs that the AI were building, we're now starting to get into the part of the game where the extra research bonus I gave the AI is starting to do something. Because thus far, we've been fighting the ships that the AI has from the start of the campaign, which you know, basic iron armor and brown and black powder and so forth. But now they're starting to build ships that are more advanced than what I could make. So after a while, now when those ships they're building now, when they're finished and launched, I can just slap on the latest technology on my ships through a refit and still have slightly more advanced ships. But eventually we're going to get to a point where even the most advanced that I could make with a freshly applied refit is less advanced than a ship that the AI started building like 5 years ago or something. And that could be exciting. 100%, 91%. Netherlands are getting involved. All right. No, gosh darn it. Oh, this is not what I... Stupid port. I didn't want to send them to port. It happens so many times. I'm so fed up with like ships accidentally entering a port because the point I sent them to was too close to the port. Like there needs to be like some kind of feedback when you send a fleet somewhere that is close enough to a port that they enter it. Anyway, that means we're not getting this battle. which sucks because that would have been a fun battle, I think. Instead, we're getting a bunch of convoy missions because these ships are now in port, getting dragged into a bunch of stuff. I guess this battleship is still fighting this task force, but not with its friends, because they're getting random assigned other fights. Very, very annoying. Anyway, let's do light cruiser on light cruiser first. Let's test out our new Mark II guns. Let's see, level CA, main guns on the enemy light cruiser, secondaries on that transport. It's a single transport in this convoy battle. Let's see, are you one of those with armor? Yes. 2.3 inches. At plus 27. And our new Mark II 3-inch guns also have a bit more range, so they're hitting that transport all the way from over here. At least that battleship is getting an exciting fight. Fighting almost the entire enemy task force on its own. I should be able to manage though. Let's see, we got engine damage on the enemy light cruiser. Enemy transport, I mean. More engine damage, almost 40% crew loss. I do want to speed up and get closer to that enemy light cruiser, but also I want to keep my secondary guns in range of that transport just a little bit more because we're close to knocking it out. Okay. Now you come here. Guess we're just gonna have to go back for that transport. Let's test our new torpedoes. One going out. And we are not in range of theirs. One missed. There we go, main belt pen. And some more flooding. Good. And she's gonna flood out pretty soon. Yeah, looking quite a bit better with the Mark II guns. Like, they work better, and also they look better visually on this cruiser hull. The Mark I turrets were just quite a bit oversized. It didn't look right. Now, Chinese transport ship, you need 3% more crew loss. One more percent. There we go. The new and improved level CA. Still getting it done. Now let's check out the battleship. It's quite outnumbered. This is one of those completely unarmored light cruisers. Well, unarmored. It's got 1 inch at 5%, plus 5%. So that's a secondary snack. That's the same class as we just fought. These armored cruisers, nothing really to worry about. And yeah, I think we can take this actually solo. And it would be better with a full task force. But hopefully justice will prevail. I could, of course, also give this a refit and get those 7-inch guns up to Mark II. But I might as well wait for the 12-inch guns to be Mark IIs. Torpedo boat zooming in close. Armored cruiser low on fuel, of course. Yeah, the 7-inch turrets do traverse. I was a little bit worried that they might not, but seems to not be a problem. There we go. 6 and 7-inch guns, putting in the work. torpedo boat is going down. Now secondaries on that light cruiser. I said secondaries on that light cruiser. There we go. Turn a bit more broadside, get that aft turret brought to bear on that battleship. Firing angle's not the best. That's the kind of stuff that's going to be so much better once we have the Mark IIs. Main tower, conning tower out on the battleship. This light cruiser is hurting, but it's still like operational. We're on the switch anyway, though. So Zuni is coming in closer. We've not taken any damage yet, by the way. Taken 64 hits, but not a single point of damage. Would be nice if we could avoid that. And Zuni is flooding. Ah, there we go. Took some damage. That means this will have to spend at least 1 month in port for repairs after the battle. Because it's already in port. Accidentally. One light cruiser down. The battleship seems to be closing in. Which is good. It's going to be easier to hit that way. Now some of the secondaries are targeting the battleship. Actually all of them are. There we go, torpedo detonation. Now we got some flooding. And a couple engines out as well. Keep hitting that main tower. Let's knock out this pesky little light cruiser. Enemy battleship still firing. That was a pretty good pen. Main belt pen for 9,000. And that might be the end of Tianjin. She's gonna need another salvo or two. Maybe. Now put the main guns on the armored cruiser. Secondaries can try and score some foreboat flooding on Tianjin. Hainan now starting to take some real damage as well. Main belt overpen on this thing. Yeah. I think that's because part of the main belt hitbox is only protected by 4 belt armor. Means the secondaries should be able to go through the AP. Maybe. There we go. And HE penetrations on that light cruiser. That might finally be the end of her. Boom. That was a 14,000 damage main belt pen with battleship high explosives. Let's do that to the main belt of this armored cruiser as well. If we can hit it. Actually, let's just blast the battleship first and then worry about this tub after. Let's also take care not to get torpedoed. Bow torpedo, right? Bow torpedo is actually destroyed. We don't have to worry about that one. I think it's safe to say that justice has prevailed. Or is prevailing. Present tense. Yeah, that's the last bit of flooding I needed. And this one is sinking as well. It's a good amount of damage scored by the 6-inch guns. Almost as much as the 12-inch guns. Yeah, good job there, Justice. Now with a seasoned crew. And this one, we're gonna have to do next time. But you probably know how it's gonna go, because it's a pretty familiar matchup. Goodbye, and take care.